course, I didn't know that. So, at the time, I just wanted to get out of that alleyway alive, so I said, sit, which it did. And I slowly, as wide as I could, moved around that creature. Got a good look at him. Realized this was not the animal I wanted to mess with. And I took off running. I don't think I've ever run so hard in my life. I was running really hard. Stupidly hard. I was so scared at the time. I'd forgotten the bag. My bag. I left that in the alley. Kukri in hand, and I was just hauling. Made it a little bit further. I don't know how many blocks I went. I heard another sound, so I ducked off to the side, But I ducked the wrong way. It's a building. I figured if I went into a building, I'd have a bit better chance, but the city wasn't uninhabited. Probably been some kind of a bank at some point. Banks are good structures to try to hide in or set up shop, because they usually got thick walls, concrete. Especially if they were built during the times of the riots and that. They really built banks like they were Fort Knox. So I run into this bank. So I was wondering where all the zombies had got to, and mad dog with an Englishman standing in the noonday sun. The zombies weren't that fried. They didn't know. They knew to get out of the daytime, so they were just setting up to take refuge inside of this bank. There's 12 of them, maybe 3 girls. And there were some twisted, these ones. They'd had some body augmentation done. They weren't spiders by any stretch, but they'd had limb extensions and, your typical wasteland gang. All gangly and hair rotting out of their heads and teeth falling out. Open sores and long rag-wrapped pieces of steel. And in comes me in my prime, pristine gear, every inch of me glistening with equipment they want. And they got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I must have looked like a gift from God. And I got 12 of these desperate people looking at me. And I was in trouble. I was in bad, bad trouble. They were probably just as surprised to see me as I was to see them. My immediate thought was just get the heck out of there, but I turned around and of course there's 2 more blocking the door, so now I got 14. They're the guard sentry who no doubt was not doing their job when I charged in. And they started making the circle. I'm thinking to myself that I'm not having a very good day. Kukri in one hand, I reach back and I pull my secondary blade. It's like a long ice pick thing. I got that in a dagger grip, and the Kukri in the other hand, swaying back and forth. I said something, I don't remember what I said. I just want to get out of here, but they don't want it. They're gonna kill me. They're probably gonna eat most of my flesh, take all my kit, and split it amongst themselves. For people who got open sores and very primitive weapons, when they look 90% dead, they can move really fast. This one woman, I looked at her, 1 second she was like 10 feet away. I glanced at the rest of the group and she was on me in seconds, man. Like it was a wink of an eye. She came out of nowhere. Her only job was to knock me down. She came in low, hit me on the side of my knees. I topple, and after that, it's all about the dog pile, I felt the first blade cut me, just in my leg, but the hard pack case of my tablet stopped it. I just felt the hit. It felt like a hammer blow. So they tried to make a really good hack for that leg. Leg is the first to go. Second one came in over the top, but I had the helmet on, of course, so it took the hit, and I was in trouble. And there was no sound. There was a pause. This desperate pause. And the weight that was on top of me, the zombies on top of me were gone. Just gone. That was it. That dog I'd been so afraid of, he went right over top of me and took two of them off of me just like that. It was nothing. He put that big jaw of his around that woman's hips, snapped them. She fell apart like a starfish, screaming. Her blood, this deep crimson, almost black, squirting out of her. She almost looked like oil. I tried to move in on the dog. One of the guys, he swung this huge pipe-looking thing. It was like a pole with a piece of metal tied to the end, wire and fabric. The dog just caught it in his mouth and snapped it and twisted in. I mean, that guy, I don't even know what happened. The guy was just down. The dog was using everything that's done. I mean, the dog was a killing machine. It was a biologically designed killing machine. By the time I got my head straight from that blow, I mean, there's 14 dead zombies around me, and this dog is just covered in, the crap that these guys bleed, and I'm staring at the dog, wondering what the hell is going to go on, because I still don't know that it's, I don't put it together. And it's looking at me, it's looking around. It wasn't looking at me to make sure that, to eat me. It was looking at me to make sure I'm okay, and then it's looking for other targets. So it worked before, so I said sit, being slow to learn. Of course it sits, still looking around. And I tried to make my way back out the door, but when I did, that's when I saw that's when I saw my bag. He picked up the bag at the alleyway and dragged it along with me because he knew it was my kit. That's when it came into play. I'm like, why would this dog bring my gear? And I figured it out. I gave him a few commands, he responded, and we just decided it would be a good idea for him to get out of there. I made sure my kit was okay, and he drank as much of the blood as he could. He's been biometrically altered. I mean, that's like water to him, so he drinks as much of it as he can, and still dripping from the crap. We took off out of there. I didn't know how big it was, but I never went back.